to what Arty Noobs with general disturbance. This is the M10 RBFM. It's a tier 5 French premium tank destroyer with a turret. It's located on the north spawn of Murovanka, and this one is under the command of SlyMeerkat, and he's working his way up to his third mark of excellence with 2 marks on the barrel already. Game on. Well, basically, to all intents and purposes, this is an M10 RBFM. The only difference, of course, really, is that this is a premium vehicle, which means that it does earn extra XP as well as credits for the owner. It's given away as a free gift to all players who've been in for a certain amount of time, I seem to remember. It was part of a marathon as well, I seem to remember, at the time. And I think a lot of people got it, but they find actually that it's far, far better than the M10, the standard M10. And whenever you see RBFM, you think, uh-oh, that one's going to be a problem, because it does have a rather good 75mm gun. 76mm gun, what am I saying? Okay, first shot hits a VK3601H. He doesn't get the second shot in. Now, originally, the Americans built 6,406 of these. They have a crew of 5. They cost $27,900 to make. They cost a lot more than that now if you want to get one, because they are very valuable. It was actually one of the most popular of the tank destroyers that the Americans produced. Most people think that the Hellcat was the most popular, but actually the M10 RBFM was much more reliable, and there were more of them, and the crews seemed to like them. It is a bit slow. It's based on the hull design of the M4. It's got very thin armour, in fact virtually no armour whatsoever. It's well, the best armour on the vehicle is only 57.2mm, but the rest of it is either 25.4 or 19.1. So yeah, you're looking at a very, very lightly armoured vehicle altogether. The reload time by the book is 2.97 seconds. You can see here that SlyMeerkat's got it down to 2.44, and he's getting fantastic accuracy on these enemy tanks. The only problem is, of course, that it only does 115 alpha, so you have to fire a lot of shots to take down an enemy tank, but he got a high roll there, 118. It's a lot of shooting you have to do in order to get the damage, but he is having a significant effect on the enemy. Now, the good thing about this firing position is that you've got plenty of enemy to shoot at, but sometimes you run out of targets, and he's having a good go at that. Oh, experimental. That shell went right over the top of the turret. He might have to move, yep, to get a better shot at the enemy. He was having a quick look at that 25 TP because he didn't fancy getting shot at by that guy. In fact, now he does have a few targets he can shoot at, but some of them, they might be a bit dangerous. That M10 RBFM on the enemy team there, if he gets to see where SlyMeerkat is, he might decide to fire back. Now, speed-wise, it's not particularly fast. It's only 48 kilometers an hour, so it's quite slow. It doesn't weigh particularly much. It weighs about the weight of a medium tank, as you'd expect, because after all, it is based on the M4. It's about 32 tons in weight, which is why it only does about 48 miles per hour, or 48 kilometers an hour. It actually has a tandem diesel engine generating 375 horsepower, and the engines, it's basically 2 diesels that are actually connected together. You could actually disconnect the diesels and just run it on one bank if you needed to, say that you took some battle damage. Nice kill there with Shure MV7X, but that VK can see him, and remember that guy's got a 75mm and he's firing back. Oh, Death Toaster! And he's firing in this way, so we probably do need to get to cover. Well, that guy could do some serious damage if he's got the 88. He might have it. There's the VK again. He is looking our way. He did get a hit. One more to kill. Yes, got him. And yes, oh my god, that was a That was a dirt round from a 105mm on a Panzer H. There's the Death Toaster again. Our teammates are actually now moving over to the Magic Forest. Sly's managed to get 2,000 hit points of damage already. He's accumulated more than he needed, and there's only one enemy left, and that's it! They've won the game! Here's the end of battle results, and despite that being only a first-class tanker, he did a huge amount of work. He got his third mark of excellence from that battle. He did a massive amount of damage on the enemy. Very well done indeed. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. But SlyMeerkat has his third mark of excellence on the M10 RBFM. Very well done indeed. His win rate from that battle was 6,065, more than Super Unicum, quite a bit more than Super Unicum. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that actually went to the T-3485, who managed to get a high caliber and a Confederate for 3,001 hit points of damage. So he was in the thick of the action. The second highest damage went to SlyMeerkat with 2,017, and the third highest damage went to the Churchill 7 on his team, who managed 1,832, picked up a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game. When it came to kills, it was the T-52 who did the best. He got 5 kills in that game. 4 kills went to the Churchill 7, 3 kills went to the T-3485M, 2 kills went to SlyMeerkat, and, well, he shared that with the Striv M4257 that he took out of the game during while he was in the Magic Forest. Yes, so 4th place on kills, but when it came to base XP, he's actually on 2nd place again. The T-3485M bested him on that one with 1,421. 1,186 went to SlyMeerkat, and 1,140 went to the T-52, but he won't mind at all coming 2nd there because he came 1st when it came to the 3rd mark. Let's have a look at the detail. 33 shots fired in that game, 22 direct hits on the enemy and 19 penetrations, 2,017 hit points of damage, of which 1,319 were at more than 300 meters. He received only 3 hits from the enemy. 2 of those were penetrations, 1 non-penetrations, and one of those came from the one of the penetrations actually came from the VK3002 H in that battle, and the non-penetration was a very lucky one because that actually came from an enemy Panzer IV H with a derp gun, the 105mm, and if that had penned, it would have been catastrophic for SlyMeerkat because it possibly might have taken him out of the game. 5 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, so he narrowly missed out on getting a Confederate as well. 248 hit points of damage assistance in that game. He earned 60,471 credits from the battle, but all the premium ammo he fired in order to get those that damage to actually give him his 3rd mark paid a toll because he ended up with a loss of 52,815 credits in the game. But he's got his 3rd mark, so now he can actually switch off the premium ammo and go back to standard. 1,779 XP times, he didn't get times, he actually got 712 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,491 experience points altogether. One of the vehicles did get a Confederate. Let's have a quick look at that. What did he get? 11 and 3. Oh, the difference was 8. And Sly was at least 3 away from that. So, yes, I'm not so sure he would have got a Confederate now because this guy was really going for it in terms of the sheer number of enemy tanks that he was taking out or hitting. 11 and 3. That's a huge total. So very well done to the T-3485M. He probably did deserve to get that figure. Redline Keck. I'm not sure who that guy is. I haven't come across him before, but that might be an anonymized name, and I wouldn't be surprised. But very well done to SlyMeerkat. He now has his 3rd mark of excellence. If you enjoyed that, before we do that, before we end it, let's have a quick look at the armor profile for the M10 RBFM and then the modules. Here's the armor profile for the M10 RBFM. You can see from the front of the vehicle that it's a very thin plate at the front. It's only 38.1 millimeters, but with the angling it goes up to 52 and 53. So it's fairly good in terms of the angling. Now, when they actually manufactured this vehicle, they actually did fix or put brackets on the front of the vehicle to enable the users of the tank, the crews, to actually put extra armor on top to actually beef up the front of the vehicle. In fact, most of the crews did actually fix a lot of extra track and things like that to the front of the vehicle, which would actually give it a bit more thickness on the front to enable it to block any shots that were coming back at it. But the M10 RBFM wasn't really designed to take shots. It was more designed to block or to shoot first, get a hit, and then disappear before the enemy could do anything about it. 52 millimeters on the lower plate, it's angled from 50.8, and of course on the M10 RBFMs they've got the hedge cutters, the bocage cutters, right at the front of the vehicle, which were used to cut the hedges in the Normandy bocage, the short hedged fields, which actually did stop the tanks from moving about a lot. They needed these cutters, which are actually made from Czech hedgehogs. The tank traps on the beaches. They cut the metal up and then fix these to the front of the vehicles and just basically scythe their way through the hedges, cut their way through, and then they could get at the Germans. The sides of this vehicle are very thin. They're only 20 millimeters effectively, or 19.1, and it's fairly slab-sided, so it's not really going to stop much. Sides of the turret, 25.4, rear of the vehicle, 19.1 again. So it's really not designed to stop shells at all. It's only small arms fire and shell splinters that it's actually designed to stop. If we go to the live model so you can have a look, anywhere on this vehicle is basically can be penetrated. The only reason these pieces are purple is if you actually aim there, the shell might actually bounce off purely from the fact that it's a very, very steep angle to ricochet. If we have a quick look at the modules, and there we go, we can actually see that unfortunately there's no module model for the M10 RBFM, but what we're actually thankful about is that we do have the M10 Wolverine in the game, and yes, we can look at the module for that, and it's identical in terms of where the modules are. You can see drivers up front, he's got the transmission in front of him, and also the driver's mate on the left hand side, also with the transmission in front of them, and the radio right next door to him. We've got the ammo racks along the side of the vehicle as well as in the turret, and you can see that the tank commander is on the left hand side of the vehicle, the gunner is on the right hand side, and the loader is sitting directly behind the tank commander and shoveling those shells into the breach as fast as he can. It's an open cockpit, so it's actually fairly good in summer, and it was good for Normandy because, of course, that particular summer, whilst they were conquering most of France, it was very good having that open cockpit, so it kept you nice and cool. But come winter, it was a dreadful winter. It was probably one of the worst winters in recent history. It was very, very cold, and having an open cockpit to the turret in that winter was absolutely diabolical. And so they normally put a cover over the top of the turret to try and keep some of the heat in, because otherwise they would freeze to death. The engine sandwiched between two fuel tanks, you can see at the back, nothing's really going to stop a shell from going in and damaging that if you aim towards the rear of the vehicle. The idea is actually to try and aim towards just underneath the turret where the ammo rack is, or the rear of the turret, and then you will get a big bang when you set the ammo rack off, or at least you'll disable it if you knock over the ammo rack and you lose some of his, or he loses some of his ammunition. So that's where the modules are on the M10 RBFM. So congratulations to SlyMeerkat, third mark of excellence, very well done indeed. The M10 RBFM is a popular tank to play for many, many people. It also allows you to train crews for the French tank destroyers, and some of them can be quite deadly as well. Obviously, you want to get further up the table so you can get those Foches, the autoloader tank destroyers, which have fantastic capability for damage. But yes, M10 RBFM, good tank, always a fun one to play. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.